Welcome to the bold analysis. Museveni's son tweets was not a bluff. And Muhoozi was very angry with William Samoei Ruto. This is a mystery that I think we are yet to unravel. I have read the worded letter by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the president of Uganda, confessing that he actually promoted the son, not for any malicious reason, despite the fact that there was that Twitter storm, because that was negative, but there's some other positive aspects from him. But it's also specific, saying that he reiterated that the tweets made were not correct way for Muhoozi to handle his grievances against recently concluded Kenyan election. If you read that letter, Museveni is making a confession that the son did not, or rather is very angry or is not comfortable with the outcome of the last general election. And for us to face the real issue here, the son is uncomfortable with William Ruto's win. It's a question that we are yet to find out. And even though former President Uhuru Kenyatta do not have a social media page, so may not have the luxury of finding his thoughts or getting his thoughts on this matter, it is now in public that this issue was bigger than how it was taken. And according to Museveni, he spoke with President William Ruto on the matter this morning, offering that apology. And so I just want us to, as we look at this, in this video, I will explain really what is the problem with Muhoozi and William Ruto, and secondly, why I have a feeling that it can't explode, or rather it can't go to a full-blown or dummy war. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our video. Are you a service provider in different sectors, that is tourism and travel, wellness, medical, cleaning, repairs, computing, design, renovations, events, and you're looking for clients? Then I want to urge you to visit the zuri.com, zuri.ke. Zuri.ke is a new application that allows the service providers to showcase their services so that you can meet the clients. What you need to do? The platform matches legitimate providers of services to their potential clients searching for those services online. And this will help you expand your client base. So what you need to do, visit zuri.ke and then explore the new website to help you expand your business. Let me tell you, Muhoozi's biggest problem with William Ruto are only two things. He was a very close friend to President William Ruto, to President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Uhuru Kenyatta, by this constitution, by our constitution, could not look for a third term. But of course, he wanted President Uhuru Kenyatta to still remain within the center of power. That one, if Raila Odinga was going to win. But and this can be seen because in his tweets he was actually saying that after capturing East African community, then someone, Museveni will be president, then is it William Ruto becomes vice, then Uhuru Kenyatta, is it foreign affairs minister or something? He was trivializing that situation. And he made 2 trips. That was last year in November, and I think also this year he also met the president here in Kenya, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. What do you think could be at the center of this? This do not need magical science. There is cross-border commercial interests. It's a very huge aspect that we cannot unravel. But you have to agree that, number one, 47% of imports that go to Uganda come through the Kenyan port, the port of Mombasa, because Uganda is actually a landlocked country. So because of even that transition, there is a lot of investment in logistics, and this is a man that Muhoozi is that the man at the center of power. I want to believe that the issue of Mombasa port and the Naivasha is really key to this. You cannot, I have struggled to remove the issue of Mombasa port, the issue of Naivasha port to this, and I've just found it difficult. President Uhuru Kenyatta even gave Museveni a land in Naivasha to build their port there. I think it's a dummy port. So you see how that investment has been. And I think Ruto, the first decision, he announced turn things to Mombasa. And of course, there is a bit of some disruptions. Whether this can also be seen, and I tend to look at one aspect. I just want to give one example. When President attended Safaricom and KCB press conference, and there was an event where Fuliza loan, the loan product was to be reduced by 50%. There are analysts that look at it as mutilation of people's businesses. There are very many loan products in this country, not only Fuliza. But Fuliza, for people who maybe did not know, it was a program that was implemented. It's a project, is a product that is being implemented by bank, which was linked to President Uhuru Kenyatta NCBA, and the Safaricom. So that's why the conversation about Fuliza was all over. So these are things that are at stake, and people look at them as ways, and I'm not trying to justify the fact that Muhoozi might have used that to attack, or rather to threaten the Nairobi. It's deeper than this. But of keen interest is to say that Uganda, or rather those elements, even if they might feel uncomfortable with Ruto's reign, but they don't, it can't get to who. It can't. Of course, let me just look at something. Yeah? There is the democratic peace theory, which states, on foreign policy, democratic peace theory in foreign policy, which states that two democracies cannot invade each other or cannot go to war. And what motivates the peace between democratic states is because the leaders will resort for peaceful resolution mechanisms to solve both domestic and international political affairs. What are we saying? And that is something that you also have to look at critically, because we are in states that are very, they're really checked. We have strong public accountability on the checks and balances, and that do not allow neither Uganda nor Kenya to facilitate mobilization for such a dummy war, for whatever reason, because there are checks of balances. So you not provoke William Ruto, and William Ruto would actually invoke international intervention But that just on a light notice. You see, there is absence of superpowers to initiate such a dummy war. There are two parallels between Uganda and Kenya, and hope you can understand. While Museveni is a pan-Africanist, he's one man that do not feel comfortable with people who embrace the whites. He's an African racist. He's pan-African. And one of the reasons why Museveni was not even close to Raila is because he always believed that Raila was trying to please the foreigners, especially during the, I think during the Hague conversation. So he's more person who is conserved to that place and do not have powerful Western influence even to initiate such. Looking at the fact that this must take, must be international footprints in it. It cannot be something that can just come from the mere difference that I don't agree with what you're doing in Kenya about one thing or the other. That cannot be the bearing for them to initiate that. And it's not even sustainable because since 1986, when Museveni came from the Mozambique, actually was trained in Mozambique, and to rise to power, Uganda has been struggling with the economy, and Kenya is above. So even sustaining that is not very possible. So this, because I'm telling you this so that you see that the territorial, the boundaries claim that was being stated was purely something that someone never intended to talk about a war or never intended to insinuate that he can try something like an Adobe capture. But it was a direct depiction of I am not comfortable with your presidency. Or I am not comfortable with what you are doing. Janyando Miguna has made another revelation today, and I've just checked his tweet. I think I can read that tweet for you before I finish this analysis. Miguna is saying something, huh? We should get it. Yes. Miguna is saying that this statement by Muhoozi was just meant to divert the attention of the country from the Freemasons story expose that was released by Ambrose Rachid. And he's tried to invoke the names of Museveni and all that. Now, I'm just asking, who else will ever will once Mugena spare anything? In that tweet, he has attacked Janet Museveni's wife, Museveni and Muhoozi and everyone, saying that they wanted to divert the attention of the country from the Freemason story. From this tweet and looking at it, you cannot deny that the puzzle of why that Muhoozi, who was and I think he is still a close buddy to former President Uhuru Kenyatta, did not feel comfortable or is just trying to show and register his disdain to Ruto's reign. While him also in 2026, he's supposed to rise to the office of presidency in Uganda. He's planning to say that. I've seen in his Twitter page trying to show that. So guys, you can also tell us, what do you think and what will be your take on why Muhoozi was very hostile or is very hostile to William Ruto's presidency? And that is my bold analysis.